Wes ordered me your book. We had it on back order waiting for it. And, I just got the resources off of the website that I could to use in the meantime. None of it made any sense to me, but I prayed it anyways. But then after I started doing all of that, and it was about 2 years later, all of the technology layer by layer started to get deactivated.
Wow.
Going in and removing it. So it wasn't just Morgellons. And there were times where I would be feeling like I was in different dimensions.
Yes.
I could look, it'd be like looking at you, but I was seeing past the veil. Because it's almost like I could see the veil right there. Because it looked like almost like like if you're looking through like a stained glass and I could see past it. But I would feel myself not fully there, like I was being pulled in so many different directions. But it started with the Morgellons. I also had like nanodots underneath my arm that would glow in black light. It was wild, or aluminum started coming out of my pores of my skin. So it started getting really weird and really crazy. But even still, as I was going through and getting the technology starting to come out, there was more. It wasn't just that. They were still going in and able to delete certain hormones out of my body. So it was all programmable matter. They could go in, upload stuff, change programmings, target certain parts of my body. So it was a process, but it was 2 years from the time that God told me he was going to heal me and deliver me to where the technology started being dismantled and removed.
Goodness.
I had a heart attack before. It was December, and it started being removed from my body in February. I had a heart attack. That day I wasn't feeling good, which was nothing new, but it was seemed like one of my better days. And it was after dinner. Wes was starting a fire. We were going to all go sit outside. Haley and Tyler were in the living room. I went and I sat down because I couldn't stand anymore. I sat down, and I seen a big black orb coming at me. And I instantly knew what was coming. And I knew I had to not let fear in. I could not allow fear to come in and to remain calm. So I closed my eyes as it was coming for me. I just kept saying, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, over and over. And the squeeze on my heart, it squeezed so hard that I just kept on. And the kids were watching this as it was happening. And then it just released. And there were a few other smaller ones that happened, but each time I knew I could not let fear. I could not let fear open the door to what death was trying to do. So, and the next day I was out Christmas shopping. So,
some of your story, as you're sharing it, to me, triggers knowledge of the way that psychic assassins and witch doctors will target people that they are trying to take out a contract on, so to speak, specifically lightning strikes. This is a known method in Africa by which the witch doctors will try to kill people. They'll have the lightning do it. This actually gets into the elemental kingdom in some ways, elemental magic, and psychic assassins using theta skills and other techniques will try to stop a person's heart. Do you think there may have been some?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because I was constantly having people astral traveling into my home, poisoning me.
Goodness.
I was constantly being poisoned, or things placed to bite me, like different insects. I had actually woken up one time and there was a witch standing right next to me by my bed. So yeah, it was a constant. I mean, it got worse before it got better. And so I know that that's why God told me that it was to encourage me to keep going. But I've always said that your will to fight has to be stronger than to give up.
That's so good.
And so that was I kept fighting. Even if I was going down, I was going to go down swinging. And that was how I've always been.
That's incredible. 2 years. And so February, so all this stuff is coming against you, but then February comes and it's like, okay, there's a shift.
Yep. So it started with...
around what year?
It was 2018.
Okay.
Yep, February, I believe it was like February 7th, 2018, I believe is when it was that the technology was starting to get removed from my body. And it took, a good maybe 6 months, 8 months for it to fully get, because there was so much. There was so much layered technology in my body. And so it was found, though, every time because they would try and attack me through it. So their attacking was revealing it. So we were able to go in and find what they were doing and find the technology. But they're really good at hiding it. They would cloak it with light, because our bodies are light, made up of light. So they would hide it and cloak it. So it took a lot of really being strategic in going in and doing it. But it took first me having to cleanse things from the bloodline. It took breaking the generational curses and undoing the programming to start dismantling the technology.
So some of this technology was infused in the artificial womb. That is crazy injustice. Do you think that it was added to?
Yeah.
My working theory is that people will have certain things engineered into them when they are part of these programs and projects as they're developing in utero or whatever it is. And after they are born, they will be subjected to a battery of assault, which will include things done to them in medical facilities. So they'll be trafficked to hospitals, dentist offices, anywhere that they can be put under with a reasonable excuse to say, all right, there's a reason why they're knocked out for a period of time. There will be things that are put in. I think that then, in addition to that, there will be technology inserted during UFO abductions, or what people call UFO abductions. I think a lot of those are actually MILABs, which are military abductions. But since the military works with Greys and reptilians and other groups, there will be a mixture of human and non-human on board those craft during those operations, because these craft are actually coming from underground facilities and underwater facilities that are on planet. Also to include hollow earth facilities, and then we get into the off-planet conversation. So during these experiences, there will be more technology involved, and then we get fed this line of, okay, now that you have a child and it's past 2010, they need a battery of 40 vaccines. So we're going to just inject them with all kinds of who knows what. And then finally we added the, the big guy just a few years ago. And, so I have often theorized that vaccines have been another potential delivery mechanism by which technology has been infused into the living population on the surface that is going to interact on levels that are not being explained to us. And it creates a bit of a tangled mess on the inside of people. Thoughts?
I agree. 100%. I agree. And two, like, with me, another one was the crystal meth was embedded with technology as well. So that was a whole other...
Can I ask you a question? Mm-hmm. When you tripped on crystal meth, did you ever experience things coming in from another dimension to try to weave into your body astral technology?
No, I do not remember any of that.
Okay.
I believe with the crystal meth, it was just another way to get it in, more technology into my body. I believe to be activated at a certain time.
Can I ask if you have ever endured a UFO abduction?
Yes. I have been taken, and with me it was the Pleiadians. They have always been a regular, I've always had regular interactions with them. I would be taken to houses. From them, they would take me from their ship to what would be, and they would always carry me. I was always carried into a house. And in this house, there was a whole bunch of other people that were there, but they were wearing like these weird looking suits and had weird like weapons. And so I don't know if it was like maybe like a training, some type of like a training facility with all these other people. But then I wouldn't be able to talk. I couldn't talk. It was almost like my ability to say anything, all I could do was think. And that's it. I was completely frozen from being able to open my mouth and talk. But I would also be in these rooms, and I would have given birth to big babies, nephilim babies. And I would have to hand them off. There was always a woman standing to the side that would be there to take them. And so my interactions with them was always had to do with giving birth to those babies.
So that would make you, in their eyes, one of their breeders. For the Pleiadians. Mm-hmm. But these babies that you had to deliver, like when you look at your physical state in the physical world, that abduction experience didn't begin with a very pregnant body.
Mm-mm. No. So for the longest time, I just thought those were just dreams, but they were just reoccurring all the time. Because, yeah, in the physical, you would not see that. So it was spiritual children.
And that's what we call spirit children. Which, I mean, we've been dealing with this for well over a decade. I mean, all of my prayers have references to spirit children. Did you ever in those dreams or abduction experiences get introduced to these children in later stages of their development?
I wasn't allowed to.
They didn't let you?
Nope, I had no interaction with them. It was basically I passed them off, and that was it. One of my very last ones that I had, and it's wild because the technology, once it started being undone and taken out, those abductions stopped.
Look. So the technology was facilitating some of the abduction activity.
It was all very connected. But the last time that it happened, not only was I handing them one of the babies, but a woman cut open my chest and took out stones. Different colors of like gemstones. At the time, I didn't understand it or what it was. But it was revealed that it was my living stones. And then it goes back to the Yggdrasil tree.
I think it's time for us to talk about the Yggdrasil tree. Now,